Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Dave at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. It's Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. Just a couple more days left in the month for the markets, and let's go through. Let's start top down, I'll use like I did last night with the point and figure charts, the bullish percent indexes here at StockCharts.com. It's a free service, by the way. They have paid services, but to get the bullish percent indexes, it's pretty handy. You just type bullish in there, and then it comes up with all these. So the NYA, the NYA is probably the most important one to look at. It's up 5.25% today. Still in a column of O's, which is really interesting I don't know if after a day like today. Today it was only the markets were only up by 1% or so. We'll go through that in a minute, but they were up nicely, and pretty much across the board type of a move. Transports in a column of X's with no change today. The industrials tacked on a new X and up 8.33% today. So the NASDAQ has not flipped yet to a new column of X's, so that's also interesting, but it's up by 1.77%. The SPX, the S&P 500, tacked on a new X, and it's up by 7.39%. And then the OEX and the NDX. The NDX is the NASDAQ 100, which flipped over a column of O's the other day, and now it's up 7.69% today. That thing's got to clear 60, and it's at 56. So it's got 4% to get to tack on to really come into a new column of X's, and then it's got to clear 62 to be a point and figure buy signal. So. And then the OEX is this S&P 100. Went up by 4.65% today. So that's fine. Here's what the actual markets did. Let's look at the SPX without the futures on. So gap higher today. And yeah, I mean, our True Momo indicator down here, that's our proprietary indicator, is bullish, and everything's playing out that way. We got target dots on the daily, target dots on the weekly, all over the place, and we got bullish momentum on the weekly True Momo indicator, even though it's still red here. So it'd be nice if that would turn around for the bulls. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, also gapped higher today, and same really goes for all the charts here, other than this is coming from underneath, so we got farther to go. Still bearish actually on the weekly indicator. And the Russell. Now let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's up by 1.79% today. Gap higher. Really, we're looking to see if this thing can exceed the previous high up here around 12,272. And for what it's worth, there's a tradable instrument. I use TQQQ. It's got leverage built into it both directions, so it cuts both ways, but it looks similar, same kind of a movement. So and so that's that. And then if we wanted to, we could look at the Russell. It's up by 1.08% today. It's got to come back a long way. It's really coming up from underneath as well, and it's bearish on the weekly as well. So, and because of the moves today, we're going to probably get the prices are going to come in a little bit in the morning. They're already showing it overnight, unless there's something interesting that I did note. If this thing will pop up the E-mini futures. That's a big bullish candlestick on today, and that's what it's doing for tomorrow so far. Um, it looks like it pretty much wanted to just keep going, but I'm assuming we're going to digest some of these gains right in the morning, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Maybe get a pullback, and then have to take off into Friday even. So I want to point out these levels as well. These are our 1.5, and 2 standard deviation levels, and we've got levels on for next week. So I think the price should be contained, generally speaking, in these levels that are called out right here. Yeah, that's that. So, and then I mentioned it yesterday. Actually, let's look at the transports. It's IYT in the exchange traded fund, and that looks pretty bullish. So it's got a nice buy signal today, and it's still pretty. I mean, it's got a buy signal on the weekly, but it's red, just like the Dow is. So that's that. And then gold pulled back a little today, which makes sense. Although it looks pretty. I mean, it's onward and upward from here, I hope. And bonds. I mentioned yesterday that bonds are, I wouldn't want to be long bonds, and I still don't. Now we got bearishness on both time frames, so we had that yesterday, I guess. All right, and then our automatic trading systems, I'm waiting on them to really correct and turn around and stop giving me fits, but all you can do is turn them on and let them play out, guys. So we did get some. This is the Russell 2000 E-mini futures contract. That's RTY right there, and I don't know how many of these trades were today, but we're still in a downtrend pattern. Although we had a nice trade right at the end of the day that popped this thing back up a little bit. On the 6-month time frame, this is our equity, and it's been dragging me down, and I need that to refill, because that'll be 18 grand or something like that if it does, or when it does. So I outline it in the systems on the website. There's 2 things you can do. Well, there's 3, I guess. You can sit through it like you're supposed to. You can get out and really wait for the new green dots to start forming again, and then get back in. But I think that's shooting yourself in the foot, because you could get out like this and then start getting back in like that, and yeah, sure, you go up like that, that's fine, but you're missing the gains that you pick back up again when the thing comes back up. So just telling you how we play it, and we're going for the long ball here. So this is the NASDAQ. It's also pulling back right now, like it did back here. Nothing real worrisome to me, but because on the long term it looks fine, and it's had recent new highs in our equity. That is really irritating me. And yeah, so onward and upward, really it is. And then here's the Dow. It's really just been driving me crazy. It's fine, just need to get back up here to these equity peaks, so, and really take off from there, like it does back here. And if I draw this out, and I'll do it for the weekend, I think I've been doing it on the weekend. I pull it out for a yearly chart. You can see what it did a year ago, and there is a lagging period of time for these that happens for basically the first quarter of the year, which we're about done with, I would think. I mean, January, February, March. So hopefully this thing can pick back up, and we can start getting some nice pop in our equity. So that's it for tonight, guys. Take care. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.